I've been the CEO of Trukai for my 5th year now. I've been living and working in Lae. And I'm terribly proud of the business that I'm part of. Trukai has been in Papua New Guinea for 53 years. And in the most recent brand audit of all brands in the country, it was the most trusted food brand in Papua New Guinea and the second most trusted brand of all brands in the country. We came second to BSP. So most Papua New Guineans have grown up with the brand, and it's a brand that's part of every household. We are the most popular brand of rice. There is other brands out there. It's a very competitive landscape. There's many headwinds, environmental, political, operational and business. And Trukai has endured those challenges for more than 50 years. And the organisation, Trukai, is an important part of the Sunrise Group, which is an ASX-listed business. They own 75% of Trukai, and 25% of it is owned by the Pacific Provident Fund, a super fund with more than 25,000 Papua New Guineans in the fund. So you could argue that it's a wonderful marriage between an international organisation and Papua New Guineans. Many people don't know the brand outside of PNG, but I think everyone that lives in PNG knows the brand well, and the vast majority trust it. So I've only got 5 slides, and then to talk about one particular project which is close to my heart, and then we'll just finish with a 2 or 3 minute video. So as I said, we were established in 1970. We're the market leader in Papua New Guinea with about a 70% share of the market, along with GFI and Home State, who are our 2 very determined competitors. We believe our rice is a healthy alternative and an important part of the diet of Papua New Guineans. We're based in Lae. Our head office is in Lae, where I spend most of my time. 3 weeks a month I'm in Lae. We employ over 1,000 people in the country, so we're one of the largest employers in the food sector. And we've got 6 distribution centres, warehouses all over the country, 37 sales offices around the country. We've got the best safety record of the Sunrise Group, as it happens, which is a global organisation. So, and one of the best engagement scores. So our own internal reports show that our employees are very happy working in the business, and they feel very safe and they feel very nurtured, which is a lovely, sentiment from the employees that we look after. We donate a huge amount of money and rice to the Papua New Guinean community. In any one year, it's about 40 tonne of rice we give to schools, hospitals, missions, orphanages, women refuges. We are one of probably the most generous corporate sponsors of programs across the country. So it's great to be part of that, to give back to Papua New Guineans in return for their franchise with our product. We've invested over 40 million kina in the agricultural sector in Papua New Guinea. Over the 53 years we've been in the country, we've owned and run many different farms in many different parts of the country with mixed success. Running a corporate farm in Papua New Guinea comes with some strong headwinds. In many ways, I think we've had more failures than success, which has led to the approach we'll share with you today, which we call a Smart Farmer program. It's obviously important to learn from your mistakes and try to evolve strategies that are more relevant to the now and to the next 5 and 10 years. Ideally, you do that in harmony with the government. Sometimes you don't. And I find that the policies of the government and private organisations often come together, and that's the optimum solution. And occasionally they diverge, and you would hope they come back so that at some point you're working together as partners going down the same path, but that's not always the case. And sometimes I feel we're going through the divergent stage. But anyway, that's one of the many challenges we face in Papua New Guinea. The Smart Farmer program is what I want to share with you, which is something we launched 3 years ago to try and share our IP, our intellectual property on how to grow rice in Papua New Guinea after more than 40 years of R&D and investment. And it was also because so many other things we tried in corporate farming didn't work for us and didn't work for the people. So it came from some lessons I learnt when I was the CEO of Mainland Holdings, where a vast majority of their poultry production was actually outsourced to local farmers. And it was remarkably effective. So we've taken some of that learning and applied it to a program which we call Smart Farmers in our business. And it's where we train and work with village-based farmers around the country on how to grow rice. And we enable that through some joint ventures we've done, which I'll just talk to now. I'll skip this slide in the interest of time. So we've set up 2 joint ventures with universities in Papua New Guinea. One, Unitec, which I was interested, the Minister went to Unitec. We set up a joint venture with them in 2022, and we use their university and their campus to grow rice, to train farmers, and we fly in batches of up to 100 farmers twice a year from all over the country and share with them our expertise on how to grow rice in Papua New Guinea. They spend 2 weeks on campus. They do 5 modules of how to grow rice that we've prepared. The university certify the farmers at the end of that and give them a nice certificate which can go on in their home. And then we work with them back in their farms, and in success after they've shown us that they follow the protocols that we specify to grow quality rice in PNG. We donate the seed for them to do that. We donate solar mills so they can mill it in their village. And first and foremost, they can feed their families. And that's quite a challenge in PNG because there's a lot of starving people in this country. So we feel pretty special in some ways that we're doing everything we can to try and feed more people on a day-to-day basis by empowering them to grow rice in their village. We also, one of the 5 modules is if they want to commercialise their crop and they want to go wider and start to sell in the local markets, then we're giving them some of the basic tools on how to do that. So it's an exciting program, and we've been overwhelmed with people that want to do the program, farmers that at the grassroots level. So much so that we've done another joint venture with PAU in Moresby. At any one time, we're getting, when we put our hand up to say we're running another cohort, we normally get about 400 applications with each campus, and invariably the numbers we can cope with at the moment is about 110 farmers per cohort when they spend 2 weeks in residence at either Ley or in Moresby. And I think we'll spend another year bedding those 2 programs down and really getting some momentum on those, during which time we'll try and put in place the same format in places like Hagen, Goroka, maybe even Rabaul, so that we can expand our footprint even wider, because so far it's been remarkably successful. This chart shows you what's a bit of the journey. On the left is 2013, where we were training somewhere in the order of 300 farmers a year on how to grow rice in the country. And at the moment, given our current rate of success, we think we're going to be doing somewhere around 3,000 farmers a year in 2027, which is not far away. And if that's the case, and if those farmers stay committed to growing rice, then they'll produce about 130,000 tonne of rice a year, which is almost half of all the rice that at the moment's being eaten in PNG. So it's quite an achievement just on the one program we're doing. That's not to say that government can't run their own programs and supplement it in their own way, or we might even end up doing something together. But for the moment, this is a program that Trukai is funding out of its own balance sheet, as part of our community program and as part of our policy in sharing our IP. There's a broader food security conversation, of course, which we're having with the government, tied back to foreign exchange, but that's a rather delicate and complicated conversation, and today's not the ideal forum for that. But I think the program's off to a cracking start, and we're getting tremendous feedback from the farmers that are participating in the program. This is the current provincial map of where those farmers that we've already trained are based. And as you can see, it's not a bad spread across the country. That's the 14 provinces that already have farmers in them that have been trained. And obviously over time, that will expand. And then if you look at the number of smart farmers that are currently active using the programs that we've given them, there's, again, a national footprint that's quite compelling for something that's been going for 2 years. So I'm really excited about it. Just to wake up in the morning and know you're doing something like this at the grassroots level that provides each village with a great opportunity to sustainability, to sustain their own food production, and in success they can commercialise, or they can choose not to. They can just feed their families. That's really the most important thing I wanted to talk about today. We've got a short 2-3 minute video which is on the Smart Farmer program. I was hoping the Minister was still here so he could see this program, because we'd like to share it with him. And we shared it with the Prime Minister, who thinks it's a great program. And at the local level, we've had tremendous support from the late Chamber of Commerce. John Rosso is a great fan of the program, and we're trying to share the program with more stakeholders, public and private sector, to get more people to endorse it, support it. We're not looking for financial contributions, we'll fund it ourselves. But it's part of the way in which we give back to the community that's been such a great supporter of our business and our brand for the 53 years we've been here, or PNG, and I hope for another 53. So without further ado, I'll just run the video, and I think after that I will hand back to our host.
Lo Smart Farmer program, me go to Facebook na, me login advertisement, sila call them come. Na me to, ay, meeting them true, gaman no, me just looking them true hypotim. Same time straight me sala application form blow me. Everything that me learning, this law 2 weeks training, and me hard lo toto. Everything is new. Even though me to was me saulo growing rice, on top that's all. What me come learning where unitech or tupla lecture, all break him down na come down lo level blow me plus straight na. Me plus kiss him like lo me yet personally, me kiss him straight na mix him good. So me feel him also misla content lo course all modules ya. Time Trukai one time unitech walking straight lo shoot him need lo me plus straight. So me a must lo all kata something me learning.
We've got different models to make them understand the principles behind the type of yield they get, or as a result of the environmental factors and how they can manage those so they can get more yield. So that is what simply we help in these different modules. And also there is business part of it in this module that takes on finance management and how to keep simple records that can help them to make rice farming not only for food but as business as well for small farmers.
For this training, it has two components, so 2 weeks theory, and then Trukai officers will follow them back to monitor there is transfer of knowledge by them demonstrating it at their own land. There's different ways of planting rice. Trukai has outlined in the modules and had taught the farmers, so they will demonstrate this at their land, and then Trukai officers will go back and assess so they can see that there is an impact of this training. The yield that is expected has been achieved. Trukai is training these farmers to help them to have that mindset of being an SME or a businessman in terms of rice production.
This irrigated system that Trukai is embarking on has got a lot of potential and has got huge impact that can help in a positive way for each farmers throughout PNG.
This is Blumia Mosem. Tami ko salim kauko okay all farmer you misa ko salim kauko you misa buy rice. You ko salim one can sandi you misa producing blo garden blo you misa buy rice na karikam Laos. Why you misa wogo Mosem? Because rice am number 1 yeah. So please all the line lo Papua New Guinea. So you are me. Please you must come one la rice farmer too. Na Trukai and Papua next call out blongin. You must kiss him. Talk about that Trukai, go to Facebook page blongol, like him page blongol, kiss him information. Na you must fill him application form. Na you must come one can or send me come here.